Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan, I'm the Mood Read Queen, and today we're doing something that I ever only do informally, except if we count August, but August was kind of a fail. So I'm not quite sure we're making this video, but today we're going to attempt to discuss a potential September TBR. I don't do TBRs, like formal TBRs. I always have kind of an idea of what I think I might like to read and some general like vibes that I think I might want to just lean into. And if there are books that are coming out and things like that, that I want to read, I'll, remember those. But I'm really bad about formally planning stuff. Which does not surprise any of us probably. But I did an August TBR. When you watch, this will probably go up before my August, sorry. What am I even saying? I know what I'm saying. My August TBR. I will share that in my August wrap up and kind of reflect on how that went. Because I planned a TBR, but I got carried away. So, yes, okay. Anyway, so there's a theme kind of with September. So I've spoken a couple times about wanting this fall to be kind of reading sequels or finishing series, as well as just letting myself reread old favorites or new favorites. And September is always a tough month. It's our first full month back to school. I just survived the first week back, and survive is a loose term, but I don't want to put a ton of pressure on myself. I'm taking 2 grad classes. There's going to be reading in those classes that I am not particularly thrilled about. I say reading. Reading. In grad school, when you have 2 jobs and, clubs that you don't get paid for and stuff, oh boy. So, there's a lot of responsibilities. But there are things that I think I definitely can get around to. And then I also really liked, for the most part, sometimes the pressure of the TBR for August was a bit much for me, but I did like knowing that there were a lot of books out there that I could read. Sometimes I just went totally off, just was driving straight down the road and just veered to the left and was like, no, and just read whatever I wanted. So I've got a really long list that I will not get to, but I think the goal is to kind of set it up and maybe have a general idea of some things that I know I'd like to get to. And I just realized that I didn't pull a few off my shelf. So give me a second. I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's do this. We've got a lot to cover. Okay, so some of the things for my September TBR are going to be based on things that I wanted to read in August, but just did not get to. So I've been reading a lot of contemporary romance, and I don't always read a lot of contemporary romance. I get into moods, but I'm trying to seize the day because there are some series that I definitely would like to get around to finishing. So a couple years ago, I read The Kiss Quotient. I always think I mispronounce her name, but I'm pretty sure it's Helen Wang. And I loved this book, and I've recommended it to so many people. And I have books 2 and 3. So I've got The Bride Test and then The Heart Principle. So I would like to get to these, but I think I should probably reread The Kiss Quotient first. So getting into these series is, if you read series, it's just it's really hard just to read just one. And when I read The Kiss Quotient, there was just one out. And then these came out, and I was like, I'm just going to wait. So I'd like to get to these, but reading one really means reading them all. So that's going to be something that I'm going to have to figure out. But I did love The Kiss Quotient, and I think my sister is going to listen to the audiobook of the Kiss Quotient, maybe at some point. So we'll see. I've been listening to a lot of contemporary romance audiobooks recently, so that might be a way that I get through some more of these, because I've been moving through audiobooks pretty quickly. And I'm pretty proud of myself. So, and we'll talk about that on the August wrapped up. But I'd like to get to these because I loved this book so much. I'm pretty sure I cried when I read it like 2 years ago. And I've heard really great things, especially about the heart principle. I know that's going to like hurt so good, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, those are on the list. Again, we'll see how we do, right? I mean, I don't know, guys. These TBRs, like the whole mood reading thing is, TBR, not into that, but whatever. Okay. Then another book that I had on my August TBR that I did not get to was A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. I was really feeling the historical fiction vibes, and I just couldn't. This is the only historical fiction that I put on my TBR for August, and I didn't get to it. So I'm hoping maybe sometime mid-month I'm able to get to it. There are also a lot of other historical romances I want to get to, but this one is important to me, and I know it's going to be so good. And I just realized I haven't been telling you about these, but if you know about them, you know about them. The Kiss Quotient, all the characters. There's a character from each book that is typically on the autism spectrum. Stella in the first book has Asperger's, as I believe Kai. They all fall on the spectrum in some way, and I don't know exactly, but they're really good books. Well, I say that. The first one's really good. This one is about a character who I think died in some sort of battle with British, and used it as an opportunity to basically like fake their own death and start living their life more authentically. So we've got a trans woman, and then her male best friend who has been really negatively affected by her death. And so they meet again. And that's all I know about it. I'm excited about it, but as I've said before, I worry sometimes, because when we get into like really nitty-gritty historical, I say historical romance being nitty-gritty, but sometimes, history has not been kind to lots of different people. Still isn't, but history way less kind. So I just worry sometimes about these, but I'm sure it'll be great, and I've heard a lot of really awesome stuff about it, that book. Okay. I also, another book that was on my like official August TBR was The Inadequate Heir by Danielle Jensen. This is the third book in the Bridge Kingdom series. It's huge, but I think it's just like the paper is large. And let's be real, I'm reading this on my Kindle, okay? Anything this big, or reading it on the Kindle. That's like my coping mechanism. So this was like something I mentioned casually on my TBR for August, but I didn't even get to all the ones that were on my bingo board for Life on the Edge. And if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been posting about the Life on the Edge book edging August bingo board challenge thing. I've never done one before. It was an experience. Again, that will be in the August wrap up. But this book I really want to get to. It is about Laura. She is the traitor queen from the second book, first and second book of the Bridge Kingdom series. And it's about her brother. I think his name is, I always forget his name. It's like Karis. And then the girl's name is Zara, I think. And so anyway, she's like a princess or something, and it's about them. So I'm excited about this. Yeah, I gotta get to it. Okay, so there's that. I'm also putting this on my TBR, even though I hate myself. Okay, this is Charles Dickens' American Notes. And I'll probably have another one on the TBR too that's also for my grad class, but I don't even remember what was on the rest of the syllabus. So I'm reading most of this this month. And in fact, for Monday, I have to read the first 8 chapters. No. Megan is gonna... Not a fan. That's 140 pages. I don't think so. Hilarious. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna read like chunks of it, but I'm not reading this whole book. But I'm putting on the TBR anyway. If I read enough of a book for... These are my rules, okay? If I read enough of a book that I had to read for a class, maybe not the whole thing, but a good enough chunk, I will let myself count it. Or if I read a really short novella or something that like normally I wouldn't count as a full book on Goodreads, but I know I read shit like this, I let myself count the really short novella because I know I read part of this, but not all of it. I know that's weird, but on my Goodreads, that's what I do. So in my brain, like right now I'm reading like a 96-page like novella. That's like kind of shitty, but it's fine. I enjoy it. It's a palate cleanser for me. But like I normally wouldn't let myself count that, probably. But I'm gonna count it because I'm reading crap like this the whole rest of the semester. Okay. Then let's see. I actually wrote stuff down this time. I know, shocking. Okay. So also on my TBR for August, I had the first book in the... I can't remember what the series is called, but the first book is called Promise of Darkness. It's by Beck McMaster. Should be over here. And I read that book in August, and I loved it, and I am sure I will talk about it a lot in the wrap-up. But my friend Kat recommended it, and I loved it. It was so good. It was very ACOTAR-esque, and I was having a ball. So I was going to hop right into the novella, which is called Seduced by Darkness. And it was right when school was about to start. Teachers had gone back, and I was exhausted. And that book, though not nearly as complicated, I think, in some ways, as books like ACOTAR, Core Thorns and Roses, I couldn't do it. And in fact, the only thing I could process that entire week was audiobooks. Like, we were just covering way too much stuff in our meetings, and I just couldn't do it. So I have Seduced by Darkness, which is the kind of prequel novella from the prince's point of view when he and whatever the heck her name is met. What is his name is Thiago, and her name is V. It's like V's. It's a longer name, but she goes by VI. And so Seduced by Darkness is, he talks about how they met. And then there's Crown of Darkness, which is book 2, and Curse of Darkness, which is book 3 that came out fairly recently. So I will be working on finishing those because I really loved that first book, and I had to stop abruptly so I could read something else. And yeah, so I have to get back to that. Also, my friend is gonna like shoot me if I don't. She's not really, but I was like really making some progress, and then I didn't. Okay, I have way too many things on this list. Okay, another book that I think I'm gonna try to get to is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I was looking through Hoopla earlier today. My sister is doing some more audiobooks, and I'm really excited about it. And I clicked on, what was it? I think it was like Get a Life, Chloe Brown, which I'll talk about also in my August wrap up. But I clicked on Harper Audio just to see like other books that are similar, because I wasn't quite sure how to search on Hoopla. And there was a lot of other books, of course, that came up, and this was one of them. And I have it. I finally bought myself a copy, but it's on an audiobook. So I'm going to try to listen to mini audiobooks this month. And for me, I have the best luck with these contemporary ones. I've had pretty solid luck with fantasy as well. But there are some authors that I want to read that I've heard really just terrible things about their audiobooks. So we'll see, but I think I'll get to this one. I want to. It has a lot of great reviews. I know it's fun, and I don't need anything to break my brain this month. Like, my brain is already broken. Like, that Charles Dickens American Note shit and everything else I have to read for this class that I'm taking. I'm in 2 classes, and one of them is a literature survey. Save me. So we're going to read this guy. Then, on top of all of this, I have so many ideas for different things I want to read. And I also do ebook challenges it's like the achievements that you can do on your Kindle. And the last 3 challenges, the highest I've gotten, they always do 16, like, what are they called? Badges or something. And I got 11 on the last one. And the 2 times for that, I got 9. So I'd really like to get like 12 or 13 out of the 16 this time. And so I kind of took some time tonight to go through and look at ones that might work for some of the prompts that they have. So one of them, it's called Top Shelf, not the book. The achievement is called Top Shelf, and it is an Amazon original book editor pick. And one of the books I saw on that list was The Paid Bridesmaid by Soraya Wilson. And I really like The Seat Filler by her. I know she's hit or miss with some people, but I've only read one book by her. So I will probably give that one a try if I have time. And then the other one, which I was actually pleased to see this one. So it is Around the Campfire. It's a Kindle book pick for summer reading. And they actually had The Takeover by T.L. Swan. This is the second book in the Miles High book club. Miles High Club, not book club. Miles High Club. And everybody and their dog talks about this on BookTube. Like, I've just seen it everywhere for months and months and months. And I kept thinking, I'll get around to it. And I probably should read the books in order, but not today, kids. Not today. So that one was also like free on Kindle Unlimited. And I was like, ooh, okay. So, Kindle Unlimited is not free. I don't know why I say that. I pay for Kindle Unlimited, and the book is included with my subscription, but it's not free. Anyway, so I'd like to that'll get me, I have 7 achievements right now, and I'll probably get the 8th one in like the next week and a half, because that's for a number of days that you read on your Kindle. And then that'll be 9 and 10, and then we'll see. And then they have some mystery ones. But this goes through their summer reading challenge? It goes through the September 30th. So I have about a month. So we'll see how I do. Then, goodness gracious, people. Okay. I want to read Lore Olympus. I have Volume 1 and Volume 2, and they are beautiful. And I was talking about them with a friend last month, and she just read them. And I was like, dude, you're supposed to wait for me. But I really want to read these. I don't think they'd be very, a ton of work to read. I have read a decent amount of mangas, graphic novels, webtoons in the last 2 years. Really expanded my horizons on those. And the art in here is just gorgeous. And so I'd like to read. I have Volume 1 and 2. And then, obviously, I think it exists fully online. But I just like to buy them. So anyway, I'd like to try to get to these. And these I can read easily in a weekend. Maybe even an evening, like tonight, for example, except I'm not going to. So there are those. Then I have a couple other visual stories. So I have Volume 2 of Wires and Nerve, which is, there's 2 graphic novels that are in the Marissa Meyer Lunar Chronicles of World. And I read the first one in May, maybe, or June. And I just didn't pick this one up because it was June. I was in summer school. And then I discovered these audiobooks that I talked about so much already. And I just never went back. And so this isn't very long. It's pretty big, but it's not very long. So I do want to say I finished the whole thing. Like, I want to say that I've read every book, every novella, every like graphic novel related to the series. I want to just say it's done. I really did love Lunar Chronicles, but this for some reason is just hanging over my head. And this is about, if you read the Lunar Chronicles, this is about Aiko and kind of like her individual story. So, pretty cool. Okay, then I've got the final volume, volume 6 of Wotakoi. This is a manga. It is like an office romance. Very cute. I read the first 5 last fall, and because I'd waited for all of them to come out, like for like a while, for like maybe like a year and a half. And I collected all of them and I read all of them, and I got to the end and I was like, wait a second. This isn't it. Like, this isn't the end. Well, the end's right fucking here. So this is like a small one. The other ones are like double volumes. But this is the last one. So there are actually 11 volumes in Japan. And in the US, we have the first 5. It's 2 volumes each. And then this one is the same size as one of the volumes in Japan. So, of course, now it's been almost a year that I had to wait. It's my own fault. So I've got to remember where I was. But this is a really cute office romance. They're both nerds. Wotakoi is hard. It's called Love is Hard for an Otaku. Otaku is like, guys, I'm a nerd. We know this. I'm not as nerdy as I could be, but I know a lot. Otaku is like anime nerd or book nerd or video game nerd, but like nerd, like socially inept sometimes. Like, so it's called Love is Hard for Otaku because they're both of them are otakus. They're just different kinds. He's a gaming one and she's more of like a cosplay, sort of like fan fiction type. So, and she likes games as well, but he's more into games. They're so cute. I don't know if you can tell, but they're just fresh. Oh, I love them. Okay. So I'm excited about them. And then finally, after months of me waiting, I always order these. I always pre-order them. This is one of my most favorite series of manga that I've read recently. And the title is hilarious. The title is Cherry Magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. Yes, I know. Crazy, right? So this is volume 5. I've read the first 4 volumes. And it's literally about this guy named Adachi. This is Adachi, I think. And then that's Kurosawa. And Adachi, he turns 30. And he's a virgin. And suddenly he can read people's minds. And he can read that Kurosawa likes him. It's, oh my God, so precious. And weirdly, I cried in the first 2 books. So, I don't even know. But these are like tiny little volumes. And I've been waiting months and months in between. Oh my God, that's the hardest part. You think waiting like a year for the next book in a series is hard. But when you're just getting these little snippets, and it's like every like 4 or 5 or 6 months or something, yes, you're getting them more often. But still, it sucks. Because you don't know how long they're going to go on for. Like, I've been reading this since the first volume came out. And waiting months and months and months in between. Ugh. Terrible. I hate waiting. Okay. This, by the way, this TBR, unrealistic. Unrealistic. How many books have I said so far? Like, I don't even know. This is not I will not get through all these. But we'll see. I also am thinking about... So Rome Parish has 2 books that come out this month. I did a whole Rome Parish deep dive last month. I am still in love with her books. One of my sweet friends at school is reading the Garnet Run series right now. And she finished book 3 today. And now she's reading the remaking of Corbin Whale. And she's like, these books are amazing. And I'm so glad because I wasn't sure if I was like crazy or not. Like when I read them, I was like, are they really that good? Or like, am I just delusional? But I think they're really that good, and I'm so excited. So will I reread Better Than People, and did I pull it out of my shelf and then leave it in the other room? Yes. So yeah, I'm going to probably read the actual paperback of Better Than People, although, God, the audiobook was so good, though. But I want to read some of the lines and just see them. And then I'll probably honestly reread the whole Garnet Run series, like paperback, because I have signed copies coming of some of the books. I'm so excited. So there's that. Of course, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have read in August. I read People Meet on Vacation, and last year I read Beach Read. So I think it's time for Book Lovers. Everyone I know who knows me has said that they think this will be my favorite of her books so far. I hope so. So that's also on one of like the Campfire lists or whatever for Kindle. And then my lovely friend Emily and I, we read Vespertine last month, and we've both read Sorcery of Thorns. Both of those books are by Margaret Rogerson, and she has not read her very first book, An Enchantment of Ravens. So we're going to read that this month. We're going to buddy read that. I'm excited. And is that it? There are so many other books I want to get to. Like, the mood read thing, and so many books, and it's like, what does a person do? Because there's so many good books out in the world. I just freak out. But yeah, and these books are going to fall. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have a lot of books I want to read. I don't know how many I'm going to get to, but I'm trying to follow my mood read tendencies, but also be aware. And one great thing about BookTube has been talking about books kind of focuses me a little bit more, and I'm not as like in whacking this desk, that my lovely temporary desk thing. Like, I'm not just like so crazy that I can't rein it in. Oh, I just realized another book I need to tell you that I'm going to read. Hold on. This I definitely am going to read this month. It is by Elise Kova, and it is the third book in her Married to Magic series, and it's called A Duel with a Vampire Lord. I'm going to be reading that, faux show, because I love her Married to Magic series. It's the only series I've read by her, but I love it, and all her other series are on my TBR eventually. But that one just came out, and I am so excited. So, yes. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. I'm excited for this month. I've got some really good video ideas. This month will be the real test to see if I can make this BookTube thing work with my schedule, because I was able to film a lot in late July and early August, and pre-film a lot, and I will not be able to do that as much during this school year. So trying to get back in my groove, but I'm really excited, and yeah, that's it. Bye, everybody. Thanks for your support. And, have you read any of these books that I'm going to try to get around to? Are they good? Would you recommend? Let me know. Okay, bye.